Hi friends, welcome. My name is Cole Chance. Thanks for joining me here on YOGATX. And wanted to do a grounding floor flow today. So sometimes you just want to lay down, but you still want to do your yoga. So I've got you covered. We're gonna get down and kind of open up from there, explore this space, yeah? So let's meet on the ground. Let's lay down on our backs and pull the knees into the chest. So hug in and just begin to kind of rock side to side for a moment. Kind of feeling all the different places where your back and your sacrum and your head meet the floor. So feeling that connection. And you can come to stillness. Take the hands and the knees now. We're going to take some big circles here. So kind of like you're rowing a boat. Currently we're rowing the boat forward. So the knees are going forward and out. And then back in towards the chest. Once more like that. And then let's go the other way, row the boat backwards. If you've never rowed a boat before, you might wonder what I'm talking about, but I think this is the correct direction. And moving as slow or as quick as you like. Most importantly, though, you're staying close with your breath. So we let the movements just decorate the breath, but we really want a slow, steady inhale and exhale throughout our practice. And you can come to stillness. Let's bring the feet down on the ground. So you can have them about hips distance apart. And maybe you can reach down with your fingers and maybe the fingers can kind of touch the heels. That's probably a good area. Let's bring, the hands can be palm down or they can be palm up, whichever one feels better. And we're gonna play with the pelvis a little bit. So we're gonna rock it back and forth, just slightly. So you can begin to press the low back down and curl the tailbone up as if you were going to touch your tailbone to your belly button. You're going in that direction. And then bring the sacrum down, lift the low back up. So this is kind of having a pelvic tilt forward and back. Then continue like that. If you want to place your hands on your hips, you can too. So we're just bringing awareness to the hips, to the pelvis, and this slight movement here. Maybe you notice that one feels better than the other. And you may know whether you have an anterior or a posterior tilt. And if you don't know what that means, it means either you tend to stick, the pelvis goes one way or the other. So one might feel more natural. That may be the way that you normally stand. I have an anterior tilt, which means that I kind of stick my booty out a little bit. And then my pelvis tilts forward. The other way would be posterior tilt. And you can think about, a lot of us have this, like when we're working on our computer, we sit a lot. So we might be sitting kind of hunched. They both come with their issues. And we really want to find that sweet center spot that'll have the best alignment for us, where we have the natural curves that go through. But you can kind of play around with where that sweet spot is by noticing what feels like too far one way and then too far the other way. We're going to begin to make this bigger and come into a rolling bridge. So now whenever you curl in, press more into the feet so the hips might come up a little bit and come back down. And every time that you bring the hips up, you can press into the feet a little bit more maybe. You don't have to go high at all. You can stay completely on the ground. So just let that match your energy today, and it might switch tomorrow. We're always at a different body and we always need something a little bit different day to day. So just feel into where you are today. Maybe you come up and maybe you stay up for a couple rounds of breath. Another option, if you'd like, is you can add the arms. So whenever you come up, press down into the feet and lift the arms up, maybe just straight up or maybe all the way over the head. and then exhale down. So make this yours. We'll do this 3, 4 more times and just make it yours. And like, again, like I said, maybe you explore one thing today and something different tomorrow. Really bring your breath in. Once more, inhale. And sigh out. Beautiful. Right leg, bring it into the chest. Interlace the hands at the knee and pull in. So you can leave this left leg bent or you can extend it long. This will be more of a stretch if you extend it long. You can maybe feel it on the front of your left leg. Maybe a little bit of wiggle with the right leg. And then we're going to take the right leg up to the sky. Yeah, so maybe that doesn't work. Maybe the leg is more down a little bit. Interlace the hands underneath the thigh if this works. If this is not accessible to you today, then you can grab a strap as well and use a strap or a belt or a tie to kind of hold the leg. And you can hold it behind the leg. You can also wrap it around the foot and hold on to the ends of it. So some different options here. And maybe you slowly walk the hands or the strap up until you're feeling the stretch. It doesn't matter what it looks like, no matter what it feels like. I'm quite flexible, so don't compare it to me. Or you may be way past me. It's definitely not the gauge or spectrum of doing it right or wrong. All have different bodies, so it's finding what's right for your body. That's how you win. Now bring the left sole of the foot on the ground. So we're going to bend that leg again. And then we're going to bend the right knee and bring the right ankle over the left knee. Now bring the left leg into the chest, recline pigeon. You can grab behind the left leg or in front of the left shin. So a couple different options there. So you can take this passively and just let the pull of the arms and gravity do its thing. If you'd like to take it a little bit more active, press the low back down into the ground. Press the sacrum down into the ground. Lift the low back up. You feel the difference there? And then press the legs into the hands and then pull the hands back at the legs. Feel how much different that is when you add that nuance and that equal opposition, the force going in different directions. Big breath in and out. Twice more like that. Inhale. And exhale. Once more, why not? Feels good. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly release. All right, listen up. We're going to do something that might be new. So you can place the left leg back down so the legs are just the way they were when we started. We're going to bring the legs over towards the left side, but we're going to keep this architecture. So it's not going to be like a traditional twist, but we are going to twist the legs over. The right knee stays up. You can take the left hand and kind of hold. You don't want to push too hard, but kind of hold that leg up a little bit. You should be able to feel it maybe in the right hip, maybe a little bit in the spine. So we will have a twist here. Right arm goes up. I have it kind of in a Y shape. You can do it in a T or above the head. See what feels good. And you can think about letting your right hip be heavy, or you can even actively pull it down just a little bit. It's not going to touch the ground, but it's just kind of going in that direction. Big breath in and sigh out. 3 more times like this. Audible exhale. Maybe this next 2 times, let the exhale be longer than the inhale. once more with an extra long exhale. Beautiful. And slowly bring the knees back into the chest. Hug in and take a little rock. And we'll do this on the other side. So the right sole of the foot goes down and the left sole of the foot goes towards the sky. Wrap the hands behind the left leg, anywhere on the leg that you'd like. You can use the strap here. Maybe you stay in one position for a few moments, and maybe you notice that you can go a little bit farther after your muscle gives you a little bit of space. Keeping with that breath. You know, this really intentional breath helps us get deeper into the poses because our body's able to relax. So this deep breathing is telling our system that it's safe, that we don't have to be vigilant or on alert. So whenever that safety mechanism, our parasympathetic system in our body, whenever that is activated, all of our body relaxes. We're able to get into places more. So like, for example, into the muscles. And again, you can bring the right leg long if you'd like. That could be either way, long or bent. I can feel a little bit of shake in my leg. I'm really needing this hamstring stretch here. We're going to come into Recline Pigeon, so bring the right sole of the foot on the ground if it's not already. We'll take the left ankle over the knee, and then we're going to reach through. So one leg will go through this little triangle right that we've created, and the other arm will find it on the back side of the thigh or the front side of the shin. So you could stay here passively, or if you'd like to activate it a bit more, bring the sacrum down, press down into the ground with the sacrum. Lift up the low back just slightly and then push the legs into the hands as the hands pull back at the legs. And then roll the shoulders down and back. And notice how much more active this feels. Look down at your left foot. It might be like sickled in towards you. We don't want that. It doesn't have to be fully flexed, but we don't want it turned in. I like to flex it kind of like a half flex. Just another thing to notice. Lots of little micro adjustments. You don't have to do them all at all. Maybe you just kind of pick up and take away one cue that you'll remember for later, but sometimes I give lots of information, but it's for you to explore, not needing to do them all. A couple more rounds of breath here. Maybe seeing if you can make the exhale a little bit longer, half a second longer. And slowly release. We're going to do the same thing on this side. So this architecture of the legs is going to stay the same. The only thing we're going to do is bring the left sole of the foot down to the ground over here. You can take the right hand and place it somewhere on the left leg. I like to kind of place it around. And I just push out just slightly. And then the left hip bone, as if you could drag it down to touch the ground. It's not going to, but it's just going in that direction. Maybe you can put the left hand on the left hip bone just for kind of a reminder that it's opening. And then maybe the arm goes out towards the left and the gaze follows if that feels comfortable. And take about 3 deep rounds of breath here, longer exhale. Once more, audible exhale here, make noise. Beautiful. Slowly come back to center and take both soles of the feet on the ground, and let's take them wide so they go to the corner of the mat, and take the arms into cactus arms. We're slowly going to rotate the legs side to side, but we're going to start really, really small, incremental. So begin to let the left knee come on the inside of the right leg. So it's like you're rolling them over towards the right just a little bit, and then we'll come back to center on an inhale. And then exhale, the right leg comes just a little bit on the inside of the left leg. And inhale. And exhale, maybe a little bit more over towards the right. Inhale up using the core. So you can kind of press the low back down into the ground. That'll help to engage the core. Exhale over towards the left. This is super gentle. And then inhale, engage the core by bringing the low back down and letting that lift you up on an inhale. Exhale towards the right, maybe a little bit farther. Inhale, belly ignites, comes up, knees come up. Exhale to the left. Inhale, up. Once more each side. Go all the way down if you'd like. Inhale up, use the core, and exhale to the left. A windshield wiper here. And inhale, center. Beautiful. Extend the legs long. Take the right hand and grab the left wrist. Geez, I'm getting really relaxed. I can't think of my body parts. And we're gonna reach over towards the right as far as you can. And then move the right leg over as far as you can. And then take the left leg and wrap it on top. We want both hip bones to be on the ground and both shoulders on the ground. So this is aptly called banana asana. I always add an extra A there. Banasana. Banasana. So it should be a long, juicy stretch on the left side body. Big inhale and just, envision the left side body getting a little bit longer. I always think about Laffy Taffy in this position for some reason. I don't know if you had Laffy Taffy. That was one of my favorites. Candy when I was little, and it stretches when it gets warm and melts. I remember I got in trouble. Left a Laffy Taffy in my dad's car that had upholstery in it, fabric, and I would leave my Laffy Taffy melted in there. If you're watching this, Mom, I'm sure you remember that. But this is essentially kind of what our muscles do. They get warm when we're using them, when we're working them, when we're giving them time to open. And like Laffy Taffy, it slowly stretches, slowly gets longer. We don't melt over the fabric of things, but you get what I'm talking about. One more big round of breath. And slowly switch sides. So however you like to get there, maybe you pause in the middle for a moment. Maybe you wiggle your hips and switch sides. So remember, so you're grabbing the right wrist now, but remember that both shoulders and both hips stay on the ground, because that's what really helps us open here, or helps us gather the stretch. So if we bypass that, we won't get this opening on the right side. So now the inhales, and kind of visualize the right side opening and feel into that. One more big breath in. And sigh out. Beautiful. let's come back to center. Hug the knees into the chest one last time. And you can extend out into Shavasana. Maybe you take Supta Baddha Konasana, which means soles of the feet together, knees wide. Anything that feels good. Maybe hand to the heart, hand to the belly. And just take about 5 deep rounds of breath together. Audible exhale. So drink in the nose. And pour out the mouth. Again, in. Beautiful. And thank you so much for carving out space to practice with me and to practice with you. Yoga is truly medicine. I'm so grateful to get to be on this path of practicing and sharing and teaching. And thank you for joining me. And if you want to learn more about me, ColeChanceYoga.com. There's links as well. And thanks for joining us here at YOGATX. And we look forward to seeing you next time on your mat. Namaste.